People say that life is the thing, but I prefer reading. Logan Pearsall Smith. If a bookworm was asked to sum up their passion for reading, this phrase would do the job. Only a few things may bring as much delight and solace as reading a good book, as any book lover knows. Every bibliophile, on the other hand, feels as though they are losing out on a wonderful work of art. So many novels, so little time, as Frank Zappa put it. How are you as a book lover supposed to decide which books to read given the time constraints? Welcome back to our channel, guys. Today we'll speak about 5 books you must read before you die. Before we do, don't forget to like and subscribe to our channel. With that done, let's now get down to the books. Number 5. Never Let Me Go by Kazuo Ishiguro. The subtleties of love, friendship, independence, youth, grief, and acceptance are explored in this science fiction book by Nobel Prize winner Kazuo Ishiguro. This is the type of book that will have you reading it at the office with the book concealing your keyboard, hoping no one else sees, but not caring if you get fired. It's a delicate sci-fi narrative about youth, liberty, and a whole lot of other beautiful things, and knowing too much about the storyline would detract from the amazing, transformational reading experience. It's fair to suggest that Never Let Me Go is a novel that everybody who has ever planned to love another person should read right away because of the authentic manner it deals with desire and disappointment. Even though they are clones in a dystopian society, the main protagonists in Never Let Me Go is imperfect, much like regular people. This is one of the finest novels to read before you die, since it is an intense read that provides vital life lessons, and who doesn't need those now? Number 4. To Kill a Mockingbird by Harper Lee. While almost everyone who has read To Kill a Mockingbird loves it, it's crucial to remember that it's still subversive and questioning the current status quo. The protagonist is a little girl called Scout, and all of the key characteristics in the novel, with the exception of her father, are sidelined by their town's power system, a structure that can be found almost everywhere. Where affluent white men rule over everyone else's life, and even members of that group who desire to use their influence for good, like Scout's father Atticus, can't prevail against the power's flattening wave. An American classic with a highly instructional tone to it. Scout, the film's sweet and innocent protagonist, sees the oppressive power system in America through his eyes. This is one of those novels that you should read before you die. Despite the fact that it was written in the 20th century, American culture will feel uncannily familiar to you today. This book will remain essential reading for everyone in America until something fundamental about that framework changes. We sure are waiting for that to happen. Number 3. Things Fall Apart by Chinua Achebe. Before the publication of Things Fall Apart in 1958, there were few novels in English that depicted African life from an African perspective. Chinua Achebe's enlightening work continues to be a classic of modern African literature, paving the way for countless authors since. The novel is set in a colonized Africa and deals with shifting power dynamics. Okonkwo, the protagonist, finds it hard to comprehend the rules and regulations imposed on his community. Things Fall Apart is one of the best books to read before you die, according to bibliophiles all over the world, because it broadens your understanding of what civilization and community mean. Achebe tells the story of Okonkwo, a powerful member of a late 19th century Nigerian village, using history and customs passed down to him. We get a peek at the intricate details of village life and the complicated social structures at play as we follow Okonkwo's story. The disastrous impact of European colonization on the geographical area and on Okonkwo himself is then revealed, with his rise and fall becoming intertwined with shifting power dynamics. Things Fall Apart is a required reading for anyone seeking a more nuanced understanding of different people, cultural clashes, and what it means to be civilized. We know that there are a lot of people out there who need to read this right now. Number 2. All About Love by Bell Hooks. We're trained to conceive love as being something that occurs to us. It's a lovely yet utterly passive experience. In her very personal and impassioned All About Love, famous social activist and feminist Bell Hooks contend that, in truth, love is a decision we must all make, and it's not quite as abstract or mysterious as many of us have come to think. Yet another one of the novels you must read before you die. It is an incredible book that teaches us everything about love, the most fundamental attribute a person has. The book argues the concept that love is more of a noun than a verb. It also illustrates how our culture has stolen and twisted the idea of love. Read the novel to discover how you may fall in love, remain in love, and grow in love. The book not only investigates the significance of love in our lives and the ways our society has perverted its meaning, but helps us, with clear definitions, toward a greater understanding of how to nurture it. If you've ever wondered why some relationships endure the test of time while others dissolve, you should read this book. And at number 1 we have The Handmaid's Tale by Margaret Atwood. Future America has earned rereading like no other book. The world of the narrator, offered from Of Fred, Women No Longer Have Their Own Names, is chilling, even though she's a magnificent survivor and storyteller, and the specifics of everything from mundane daily life to ritualized sex and violence to her remembrances of the time before are surprisingly accurate. The Handmaid's Tale by Margaret Atwood is best characterized as scary. The unsettling but possible dystopic world depicted in the book is a scathing condemnation of America's patriarchal status quo and imperiled women's rights. This dramatic book highlights various political problems for today's society, making it one of the most significant books to read before you die. The book is as pertinent now as it was then. Feminist reaction ebbs and flows, but women's rights remain a hot topic. And despite its scenes of immense sadness, The Handmaid's Tale is essentially an optimistic novel. Offred and others cannot be human without the prospect of hope, and it is here that the resistance finds its power. Although all of Atwood's writing is worthwhile, this novel shows the societal and psychological influence that fiction may have. But let's face it, it's difficult to get ourselves to finish a 382-page book when we can instead watch a movie, listen to an audiobook, or check out a YouTube video. You're missing out if the majority of your daily reading comprises social media posts, messages, and news headlines. However, there are certain advantages to reading books. Books, unlike a YouTube videos or a podcast, contain in-depth knowledge. Success also necessitates going further than the surface of a subject. In addition, books can teach you almost everything. Our brains, like our bodies, have a use it or lose it policy. To put it another way, if we don't frequently exercise our thoughts, our cognitive talents may deteriorate. We can, however, keep them healthy and strong by reading every day. It also enhances concentration. It is critical for our success and well-being to be able to focus for lengthy periods of time. A novel takes your complete concentration in order to transport you to another universe. And if you want to get the most out of a non-fiction book, you must be totally present and engaged. To summarize, if you really want to succeed, you must concentrate. You can also practice focusing by reading books if you wish to improve your concentration. When you read a non-fiction book, you're also consuming a lot of knowledge on the topic you're reading about. Similarly, when you read a novel, you must recall a great deal of information regarding the narrative and subplots of the story, the people and their relationships, and the setting in which the story is set. That's a lot of details. All of this fresh information prompts the creation of new memories. Every new memory either develops new synapses or enhances existing ones. So now that we've understood how important it is to read a book, which book do you plan on reading next? Please share your thoughts in the comments box below. That's all for now. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel. Thanks for watching.